hey there, American farmsteaders. This is Donna with Hazel Bell Farm.
And Jenny with the Gramstead Family Farm.
And we're coming to you from Northeast Florida as two American farmsteaders doing our best to grow our own food, share our experiences with you in hopes that you will grow a little food of your own.
Yeah, and today we are coming to y'all, since we are in between gardening seasons, to talk about seed starting.
Yay.
Yes. A pretty valuable homesteading skill, in my opinion, because it'll save you a heck of a lot of money if you can learn how to start your own seeds.
Yeah, I think back to my first garden and I started plants. It was a small enough garden and I thought people who start seeds, like that's only for professional growers, like farmers. Farmers start seeds, right?
Right. And in the beginning, I bought plants because I wanted like the instant gratification of the garden looking full.
Right.
You know, like,
Right.
oh, instantly, I have a garden.
Yeah, exactly.
In our instant culture.
Yeah. And that is affordable maybe if you're doing one little box. We
Yeah.
talked last week about starting one little space.
Yeah.
It's affordable, but it still costs a whole lot more than seeds.
It really does cost a whole lot more than seeds, like substantial amount of money. So a little packet of seeds is super cheap and will grow you a ton of food if you can just learn to do it. So, you know, I'll start this by saying, just try. Just try to start the seeds. And you know what? You might fail. I failed.
Right.
It took me a few.
I still fail at it.
Right. Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. I mean, it took me a few times to like really get the procedure down that worked for me. But I failed miserably several times. But you just got to keep at it and kind of find what method works for you, because I feel like there's definitely different ways that you can do it.
There are different ways, and I think it comes down to what fits in with your life and what allows you to remain diligent in babysitting those seeds and watering them well.
Yeah.
Because to me, like even when I say I still fail, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's, I ignored those seeds for a couple days.
Yeah, well, and I've come to the realization that I have to start seeds where I see them all the time.
Exactly.
And so a lot of the times mine go right on my kitchen counter, right beside my kitchen sink. I hang my grow lights from my kitchen shelves. And if they're not sitting out in the open like that, I will just forget about them.
Yeah, out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah,
for sure.
So that's probably my number one tip. Put them where you can see them.
Yeah, I agree. Just do it and put them where you can see them for sure. Yeah, I have started seeds in all kinds of different places. I don't like to do them in my kitchen. Like, I'm really funny about stuff in my kitchen.
I know.
And I don't want stuff on the counter. I don't want extra clutter. But if that's the place that it works, it gets the job done, it's not for that long. I can deal with it.
No, it is not for that long at all. I mean, in no time, they're ready to pot up. And once you pot them up, that's when you really got to move them and find like a bigger space.
Yeah.
You know, or it'll take up the whole entire countertop.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about actually starting.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need?
Yeah. Well, I say start with a really good quality. I like potting soil versus seed starting mix because it's going to have some nutrients in it.
Right.
Because once those little seeds germinate, you know, they have a little bit of nutrition in that seed, but they're going to run out of that nutrition really quick.
Pretty quickly.
So it's something that needs to be fed. So if you can start with the potting soil that has a little bit of nutrients in it, that kind of gives you a little bit of a safety net, I feel like.
Yeah, I like that. I don't care for seed starting mix so much, other than the consistency of it. That's the only thing.
It is nice and fluffy.
So fluffy, yeah. You can, I like to do a potting soil mixed with a peat moss to get that fluffy. And then I'll add in some blood meal. Okay. And so that gives it a little bit of nutrition to start with. And I wish I could give you, it's like 50-50 peat moss to compost is actually what I'll use a lot of times.
Yeah.
Just a good fine sifted compost.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't have any big chunks. And then a couple of cups of blood meal. And this is like to a wheelbarrow full, like a lot.
Right.
I'm making a lot when I'm doing it. So, you know, get you a little bucket and mix some things together. If that's scary to you and you say, no, I need the thing that says seed starting mix.
Right.
You can do that. But I would go ahead and add something to feed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. The last couple of years that I've started seed, I went high dollar and bought the really nice Fox Farm potting soil.
I do use that a lot.
It is really good. I really have enjoyed using it the last couple of years, but it does have like some teeny tiny wood chips in it. I try to sift those out.
Yeah, it depends on which blend you get.
Yeah.
So if you get the strawberry fields, I think, or something with the strawberries.
Okay.
If you get that one, it's a finer.
Okay.
Yeah, it has less chippy parts.
Less chippy parts. Yeah. Because essentially, if you are going to use like a potting soil, you don't want any chips in it.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
Because that's going to keep your little seeds from popping up. So be on the lookout for that for sure.
Yeah. What about containers to put that soil in? What do you like to use? I like to start mine by clusters for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, the cluster method, I think, works really well for a lot of different things.
Maybe not everything.
Maybe not everything. And okay. And here's the thing. Not everything you're going to start from seed. They're
in a pot separately, you mean?
it like inside.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, there are some things that are just a lot more appropriate to just seed directly into your garden.
Yeah. Like your squashes.
Carrots, squash,
Cucumbers.
Cucumbers. Although I did start cucumbers last year and I transplanted them and they did well, but a lot of people say that they don't transplant well. They're a little more finicky.
They can be a little more finicky. What I have seen, I've done both, and every year I do both. Every spring I do both. In the fall, I usually just put seeds in the ground because there's no danger of frost.
Right.
But what I have seen in the spring is I'll start some under lights in pots, and I will put some directly out in the ground later. And the ones that I direct sow to the ground, they grow faster and stronger and bigger.
They're hardier
than the other. Yeah, they're hardier. They just seem to be more disease resistant and just stronger, healthier plants.
Yeah.
They catch up, so I kind of.
They don't have that acclimation period.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They just grow outside. And so they're like hardy, like a volunteer plant, something that you don't have to babysit so much.
Yeah.
So what are some other things that you always direct sow? Like green beans,
beans,
zipper peas, things like that.
Peanuts.
Carrots, peanuts, any root vegetable, radishes.
Yeah, any roots.
And then sometimes with like lettuces and stuff like that, sometimes I'll direct sow those, but then sometimes I'll start those inside.
Yeah, I'll do both.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
Those seeds are so tiny. And
they're tiny.
I really just like throw a bunch out.
And they tend to wash away. And sometimes they get kind of lost in the shuffle when they're outside. So sometimes stuff like that is easier to start inside.
I really like to do my lettuces and greens in the soil blocks. I have a soil blocker. I've got the little tiny one. I think it's like 1 inch by 1 inch or something.
I was wondering
2
about
inches,
that.
Maybe. I think
so
it's like 2 by 2.
Do you have the little one and the big one?
I only have the little one.
Okay.
So it's like a row of 4 blocks.
Okay.
And so if you're not familiar with a soil block, you have to have the right consistency, the right moisture. That's where the seed starting mix soils, the bagged soils, really come in handy is to do that. But I've done it with my own mix too, plenty of times. You have to have it good and moist. You don't want to have it too dry or too wet, or it just won't set right. And you pack the blocks with the soil, and then it kind of like punches them out on a tray. And there's a nice, perfect little dimple in the top of each square for your seed. So tomatoes work well in there, peppers work well in there, but the lettuces really work well in there.
Okay.
So you can get one of those little seed. What is it? What are they called? Like the little round thing, and it disperses just 1 or 2 seeds at a time.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I have had one. I don't know where it is. I haven't used it in a long time, but it works really well for things like lettuce.
Yeah.
So it just drops 1 or 2 little seeds at a time, and that little dimple, and you can easily cover it over. Those do tend to dry out kind of quickly. So I like to set them. My favorite method is to put them in a tray of some sort. I've used dollar store cookie sheets.
Okay.
Worked really well. You can get a couple of seasons out of them before they rust to the point that they're done, but they were $1.
Right.
So, like, it's okay.
It's okay.
I've used the lids to Rubbermaid bins. I've used all kinds of some kind of tray reservoir that will hold some water. So you're pouring water in that tray.
Yeah.
And that's been really great for me to do. So what I like about those are that the roots are nice and aerated, and you can see like when it needs to be potted up. You can see what's healthy. You can see, as opposed to a pot or a solo cup or something like that.
I feel like I need to try the soil block thing.
It's fun.
Yeah. I really feel like I need to try it. I've never tried it before.
Well, you can try mine if you want to try it before buying.
Right. And I feel like I've tried all the seed starting things except for that.
Yeah. So they make a bigger one too.
Yeah. Well, and that's why I was asking, like, do you have the big one and the small one? Because I saw somebody the other day, they started in the little ones, and then their little tiny transplant went right in the top of the big one. And it was like, boom, you're potted up. I was like,
yeah. So instead of
amazing.
a tiny little dimple, it carves out like the exact 2-inch square.
The exact size as the small soil block.
It's perfect.
I know. I was like, dang, I didn't know that it did that.
The bigger one costs quite a bit more.
That's fancy.
So I haven't, it is fancy for sure. So I haven't gone into that one.
It's fancy. So yeah, I feel like that's kind of like a more advanced, fancy way of starting seeds. I feel like that's like how like your market gardeners and like serious growers, that's how they're starting their seeds. Now for home gardeners, let's talk containers and such.
Right.
Because, actually for a few years, I had really good luck with those expandable pellets.
The peat pots.
The peat pot expandable pellets. And I know some people don't like them. They've worked well for me a couple of years in a row. They did really good. And those are like really readily available. You can go right down to your, big box store and pick up like 72 of them.
Right.
They come usually with a tray and a little plastic dome that goes on it. So you get your whole little kit. And
same kind of thing.
Same kind of thing as the soil block.
They tend to dry out.
They do.
It's the peat.
Yeah.
They tend to dry out. So you want it's nice that it comes with that tray.
It comes with the tray, yeah. So you can, and I'm big on bottom watering. So I think you no matter what kind of container you use, you got to have a bottom water tray.
Yep.
And you can put a little cap full of fish emulsion in with your water.
Yeah.
Although you got to be careful with that if you're doing it in your kitchen because it can get a little stinky.
You know what I really like to use? I started using this year is it's by that same company that makes the soil we like, the Happy Valley.
Yeah.
What is it? Foxfire, Happy Valley, Happy Frog. I can't remember the name of it.
Fox Farm.
Fox Farm. Thank you. It's like I made it so hard.
There is a frog one though.
Yeah. There's a soil that's Happy Frog, but it's Fox Farm is the company. Yeah. So they make a line of fertilizers also, and they're all natural. They're all organic. You're not getting the petro stuff, but they do a liquid one called Boomerang. And that guy at that Ace where we went plant shopping this spring talked me into it, said I needed it, and I was like, yeah, I think I do.
I do for sure.
But I like that it's liquid. So and it's a real light, gentle. It does have. I'm not going to say a scent. I almost said a scent to it. It's not, that's a too positive connotation. That's not what it is. An odor about it, but it's not as bad as the fish emulsion.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
It doesn't smell like fish.
Okay.
So.
Noted.
Yeah. I do like it for seed starting though.
Okay.
And then I just used it for starting tomato cuttings too.
Okay. Okay.
So.
Yeah. So you just put it in your water and put your cuttings in there. Nice.
Yep. Beat them.
Nice. Okay, so the pellets are an easy way. They just expand. You put warm water on them. They have a little divot at the top. You can drop your seed in there, get them covered. Outside of the pellets, I also really like to use those little 6-pack trays. They're like all attached together, and you can start 6 little seeds in one tray.
Right.
And I think like the they're probably like 2 by 2, something like that.
Yeah.
2 by 2 by 3 deep. And I like that because you can start, 6 of this variety of tomato and only have to put 1 plant marker in it.
One tag is nice.
It's the little things, okay?
It is the little things because I tend to lose the tags or they get mixed up anyway.
Yes. But then when you pot up out of that, you got to tag everything anyway. So, but I like those little 6 tray pack things. And then those fit really well all in the big bottom water tray.
A big like 10-20 tray.
Yeah, like a 10-20 tray. And I really think that I'm at the point where I should probably buy some nice 10-20 trays.
I'm looking for nice ones this year.
Because the cheap ones, I mean, I'll get a couple seasons out of them, but then they crack. Yeah, maybe a couple seasons out of them. They crack. But if you know that you're going to be starting seeds and it's something you're going to stick with, getting a nice bottom water tray that's going to last through the years, I think is worth the money.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I want something to last. And I'm seeing a lot of ads for them coming through my social media feed where they like have weights that they're throwing on them and stuff like that. I'm like, that's what I need.
That's what I need. Yes. Can a cow step on it?
Right. Well, I was thinking myself, but yeah, that too.
Start small when you're starting your seeds. Because
this is a project that will grow into an animal of its own.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're gonna have to pot those up. So start small with them.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you some time to like get your pots ready and get more soil. And then it takes less soil to get started too.
Right.
Which is nice because then it just gets you on a roll.
Right.
Yeah,
you get you going.
Yeah. So do you cover yours while they're germinating?
It depends on what it is. I do like to cover peppers.
Yeah.
Because they really like the heat that helps hold the heat in, but also moisture. Tomatoes, a lot of times I'll cover. Honestly, it depends on what I'm starting and how I'm starting it. If I use the soil box, I'm not covering.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever covered those.
Okay.
But like if I'm cluster seeding, I always do it in some kind of a container with a clear lid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about cluster seeding real quick because everybody might not know kind of what we're talking about. So that's where you're taking a big tray and you're filling the whole tray with dirt. Right?
Not even a big one. Like
not
I
even a big
use
one.
little like
I guess
takeout containers.
Right. Like I guess it doesn't have to be a big tray. It can really be any size.
No, one
container.
year I went to my local Wally World and I bought just because I saw them on an end cap and I was like, that's perfect. It wasn't even like in my mind, but that's perfect for starting seeds. And it was, it was like meal prep something like around the first of the year. So it was like time for us to start seeds anyways for spring. And that's what their purpose was. But I thought, great. So it's like maybe the size a little bit bigger than a sandwich.
Okay.
And it has a clear lid. It snaps on and perfect. So this one is black creme tomatoes.
Right.
This one is Bradley tomatoes,
Right.
And I like to just use a piece of masking tape on there to label and I know what's what. And then, put your soil in, put your water in, sprinkle a whole mess of seeds in there.
Right.
Be careful though, because like I said, this is a project that will grow into its own animal. Before you know it, you have 100 tomato plants.
Right. And so like with this method, like you don't really have to be concerned too much on how close the seeds are together. You're just getting a bunch of seeds down in that dirt.
Right. And it also, germination rate is a thing, right? And if you're trying to start something that has a lower germination rate or you're not sure because maybe they're older seeds or they were given to you wet, like there's all kinds of things that could happen. You put them all in there and you're not wasting the space of a pot for each one.
Right.
Right. A pot doesn't sound like a big deal, but a tray of pots is kind of a big deal.
It does start to take up space, especially if you're needing to put it in an area where you won't forget about it.
Like your kitchen.
Yeah. Space matters.
Yeah. So this is a good way to, you're only then dealing with the good seeds because the bad ones won't do anything.
Right.
And they won't take up any extra space. It'll be great.
And so once they sprout, you're basically
teasing them apart, one at a time.
You're basically plucking them up out of the dirt and repotting them into a bigger container of its own.
Yeah. And my favorite reason for doing it like this is you can pick out the strongest little plants.
Yeah.
So you don't have to all of these have one leaf or, you never know what it is. It's always something like they just look puny or leggy or whatever. You can only pick out the strongest and you're good.
Yeah.
So cluster seeding.
Cluster seeding. That's an easy way to do it too.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's an easy way to start. So,
so in general, sowing seeds, of course you can always look at your seed packet,
right.
But there might be times where you don't have a seed packet. Maybe a friend shared some seeds with you and just threw them in a little Ziploc baggie and you don't really know how to plant them. So the general rule of thumb is sow them as deep as they are wide.
Okay.
Did I say that right?
I think it's twice as deep as they are wide.
Twice as deep as they are wide.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of a rule of thumb.
Right. That's a general broad way to look at it. Yeah. Yeah. There are some exceptions, just like every other rule. But that's a good way to get you going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like when that's been the most important and when it hasn't been. Because we talked about the carrots, right? Where we were like, let's try this other thing. Let's see if we do better. Because carrots can be really hard to germinate.
Carrots are tricky. Carrots are like their own animal.
Yeah, but we've figured it out.
Yeah.
So those go deeper, right?
They do.
They go a lot deeper. But the reason that you don't want them to be too deep is because there's only so much energy in that seed that once they germinate, that they can reach the surface
push through.
Yeah, and start to photosynthesize. If you plant them too deep, they kind of burn out of energy. But what we learned is when we do the carrot, so what we like to do, Jenny figured this out last year, is dig a trench, put some sand in the bottom, throw your seeds in and sand on top, and then just keep it nice and watered. So the sand is easier to keep moist and watered, but it's also a nice soft medium for those plants to come up through, and they're not burning so much energy is my theory. I really don't know what's the science behind it, but it seems like it's just easier for them to push through.
Yeah. And I really feel like that tiny little sand trench really holds the seed where you put it.
Yeah.
Because those little seeds, they just get lost in the shuffle in regular soil, I feel like.
Right.
And you can just lose them over time.
And they just get washed away.
Yeah. And then you have carrots growing in your walkway.
Right. If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Most times they're just lost. They're just gone.
Yeah. So, and that whole sand trench thing, I actually learned from watching some homesteading family videos, Josh and Carolyn's videos.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. One of their kids actually figured it out. What their kid was sowing seeds that way. And he was like, son,
that's way too deep.
That's way too deep. That's never going to work.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, let's just see. We'll just do it this way. And then we'll do it your way. And we'll just see how it comes up. And
that's how they do it now.
And that's how they do it now.
Yeah.
So that's actually how I do all my small seeds now. If I direct sow anything in the garden, like lettuce seeds or green seeds, in those teeny tiny little seeds, I always do the sand trench.
I think I did my lettuce that way actually this year in the spring. I didn't have great lettuce. I didn't do well with it this year. I had a difficult garden this year, but I digress. It is a good trick.
Yeah, I did my rutabagas like that, and that worked really well.
Okay, so the root things I really like the soil blocking for.
Oh.
Yeah. So what's his name? No-till grower guy in England, Charles Dowding.
Yeah.
He does his beets and what else does he do like this? I can't remember. Beets is fresh in my mind though. He'll sow 3 seeds together. So the soil blocks work well. You can drop 3 seeds right there together. And then as they grow, he thins out 1 and plants 2 together.
Okay.
And that's how they grow best for him. And he's able to take them to market when they're ready. that was something that was new to me, and I was like, yeah, I'll give that a try.
Right.
Like,
Give it a try.
I don't remember if he did it in the soil block, but it works really well. It worked really, really well for me that way.
And that's the thing. It's just trying different things. You got if it fails, just try something different. Try it a different way, because there's so many different ways to do all these different things. You just got to find what works good for you, for the medium that you're working with,
the plant you're trying to grow.
Yeah. Your little microclimate you're in, like it all matters. So you just got to find what works.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I like how we've said before in the past, that's like, you're going to fail.
That's how you learn, though.
Own it. Just own that. Yeah. But I like, we've started calling it failing forward.
Yeah.
You're failing forward. You learned something. Moving on.
Right. So technically it's not a failure because you learned.
Yeah.
Yep. So some things are trickier to germinate. Some things like it a little bit more warm, like your peppers. So I usually put a heat mat under my peppers when I'm trying to germinate those.
Yeah.
And my new peppers that I grew this year, I've actually been trying to start those seeds this was the second season that I tried to start them, because the first time I didn't get any of them to germinate. And it was so funny because these were seeds that I got from Seed the Stars, and they carry like a lot of like native Florida seeds, like a lot of neat, like different kind of things that grow really well in our area.
Yeah.
And I was having such a hard time getting these pepper seeds to germinate. And so that particular year, I was using chicken coop dirt.
Right.
To start my seeds.
Right.
And so like I emailed them and I'm like, hey, I'm having a really hard time with these seeds. Like, I know it's not y'all's seeds. Like, I buy seeds from y'all often. I always get great germination. Like, I know it's not y'all. It's totally me. Like, how are you starting these particular pepper seeds? And so she writes me back, and it's like this long, couple paragraph long about how they start these pepper seeds.
Which is so kind that they responded in that way.
It was so amazing. And I was like, wow, you're definitely doing it way different than I am. I'm just throwing them in some chicken coop dirt.
Imagine. That's funny.
So this year when I started I actually like really babied them and put them in a good medium and put them under, had a heat mat under them. And then I even took the heat mat this time, I put inside a glass baking dish. And I put plastic wrap over that so it wouldn't get wet. And then I put my trays over that. And then once I got the seeds all sowed, I wrapped the whole thing in like saran wrap to like really make it like a little greenhouse. And it got nice and hot and everything germinated.
Good.
And, so certain things are just a little more finicky than others. And
Sure.
Again, you just got to
keep trying.
Find a way that works.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the past though, just, to say chicken coop dirt has worked well.
It works. Yeah. It'll work well for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And I've thrown lettuce and carrot seeds. My best lettuce and carrots have been where I didn't plant them at all. I didn't plant per se.
Right.
I didn't dig holes. I took straight goat poop and rabbit poop with that pelleted poop.
Yeah.
Spread it into a bed, and I dropped my seeds in and watered them. And that was it. That's all I did. So,
and I think it is nice and I've always been a firm believer in like, use what you have, so maybe instead of going out and right off the bat, I mean, unless you want to go out and buy the, potting mix that costs a little bit more money, but if you don't,
I mean, for some people, that's what motivates them. Like, that's what gets them excited to do it. And if that makes your skirt fly up, do it.
Do it.
Yeah.
But if you have resources at home that you think might work, try it.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's just a little seed. If it doesn't germinate, it's okay. So, we haven't even gotten past germination.
Okay. All right. Keep us on the ball here.
All right. So I'm not using my grow lights while I'm waiting for stuff to germinate. I mean, some stuff does germinate quicker with light. Like I think peppers is one that germinate a little bit quicker.
Light, yeah.
Okay. To germinate.
Yes. Lettuce needs light. Yeah.
But like if I'm doing like a tray of tomatoes, I'm not having my light on until those seeds sprout.
Yeah. Now they want it like as soon as they sprout.
Yeah.
So you have to keep checking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a common mistake that I see people make a lot, and I did it in the beginning too, was having my grow light way far away from my tray once everything germinates.
Right.
That'll make your plants really stretch for your light, and they get really leggy, and they fall over, and they're done, and they're no good.
Yeah, it really is. Like the support and the structure of the cell walls is not great.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I really try to get mine really close to my tray, like an inch from the seedlings.
Yeah, like just a couple inches. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that can be a little kind of tricky to figure out how you can get that to work for whatever kind of setup you're using. Like mine start out and I have like several baking dishes
Underneath.
Like stacked on top of each other, and then my tray on top. And then as the plants get a little bit taller, you got to kind of lower them. So you just got to find something that works.
Yeah. Alternatively, you could use little chains on your lights.
Yeah, you could.
I go the other way. I go from the top. I move the light up and down. You move the plants up and down. That's smart.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, I guess I was just kind of using what I had.
Do what works. Yeah. Do what you got.
Yeah.
Okay.
So make sure your light is good and close. And there's different kind of lights. I've seen people do just regular fluorescent lights. I've never tried that before. I mean, when I started doing seeds, I just went right to the store and got the full spectrum grow light.
Yeah, there's some, I don't know what the numbers are, but there's like a certain wattage you want and all of that
for the fluorescent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember what it is, but it's easily found on Google.
Yeah. I'm not sure what it is either.
Yeah, I bought a set of lights last year. They are made for growing, and they have like all the full spectrum color.
Right. And they daisy chain together.
So you can do as many
super
or as few
convenient.
as you want. Yeah. I like them a lot. I'll probably be ordering more. I almost sent them back because I was like, I don't need these. I'll just use the outside. And then, no, they really were nice. And I think I'm going to order more.
Well, and I do really prefer a grow light over natural sunlight in the beginning, because essentially you got to have these seeds in a covered area.
Right.
So they're not getting sunlight from the top. So no matter where you put them, it just makes your plants lean towards the sun.
Right. I was going to say, which brings another point, is to make sure that if they are getting light from the side, that you turn the tray.
Right, because they can kind of end up getting leggy if you don't, because they're essentially just stretching one way to try to get to that light.
Right.
And that makes them leggy. So, you got to kind of turn the tray. And
even under the lights, like my lights it's not like a flat light. They're bars.
Right.
And so like I have several of them together over a tray. And so like the plants that are directly under that light go straight up, but the ones that are kind of between the bars tend to lean. So I do move the tray.
Yeah.
And that helps strengthen the stems too. As long as you keep moving them.
Yeah. So what we should probably do is on our show notes, put some links in for our grow lights that we're both using, because mine are different from yours.
Yeah.
And y'all can just kind of take a look to see what exactly we're using for our grow lights. And
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. So what else?
Don't wait too long to pot up.
Right.
Essentially those roots are going to fill up whatever medium they're in, and they are going to need to be moved. I mean, if you don't move them, you're going to end up stunting it, and they won't be quite as vigorous when you pot them up.
Yeah, don't be afraid that it's the wrong time, that it's too soon. Just you're better off to do it too soon than not do it at all.
Too late.
Yeah. You don't want stunted plants, so don't be afraid to try.
Yeah, and make sure you're potting up into something that has some nutrients in it. And then too, even when I pot up, I'm still leaving my pots in my trays to bottom water.
Yeah, I really like the bottom water.
I really do too.
That's why I like the 10-20 trays, because even when I pot them up into, I think they're like 2.5-inch pots, I can just water underneath.
Yeah.
It's nice. Or you could use solo cups in that way. As long as you have some drain holes in the bottom, they'll take water up through that too.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of things you can do.
Yeah. And don't pot up too big when you pot up the first time,
Yeah.
because you might end up having to pot up again.
Gosh.
Like, especially with like a tomato, because your
Right.
tomatoes grow really tall. And every time you pot them up, you're essentially burying them 2/3 of the way deep.
Deeper, yeah.
Yeah. And so if the first time you pot up, you go for a much bigger pot.
So what I like to do with tomatoes, not anything else, just tomatoes, because
Okay.
because of
Because
the way
of that.
you have to plant them so deep that
Yeah.
way. I like to every time I pot them up, I'll put them in a bigger pot or cup. Solo cups work really well because they're deep for tomatoes. And I will put some soil in the bottom, put my plant in, and then a little bit of soil on top. I don't go all the way to the
Right.
top. I leave some room
Yep.
so that as that plant continues to grow, I can
Right.
keep adding soil in. So definitely something big enough
Right.
that has some space.
Yeah. Because you can add more soil to it as the tomato plant gets taller.
Now I will
That's
say
a good trick.
We're in July. So like we're talking about our fall gardens, that perspective right now. But in the spring, that's especially important because you don't want to put anything out too soon.
Yeah.
So right now, like the heat is not going to kill my tomato plants.
Right. Right.
I'm not concerned about that. I'm more worried about getting them in the ground and getting tomatoes before our first frost. So I'm not going to pot them up too many times before I get them out in the ground. I'll put them out sooner than I would have in the spring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Well, and two, I think it's important to remember, like just when you're transplanting a plant into the garden, you want that soil to be watered already. When you're potting up, make sure you're potting up into pre-moistened soil.
Right.
If you're potting up a moist plant into a dry soil mix, that soil mix is going to pull all the water away
just gonna
from that
wick,
root
yeah.
ball, and which essentially is just going to take water away from your plant and stress it. So make sure that you always do the pre-moistened soil.
Yep. I
Even
agree.
when you're starting your seeds too.
I agree.
Make sure that's pre-moistened.
Yeah, definitely.
Another really good way to water your seeds is I usually have a plastic water bottle and I take the top and I poke 3 teeny tiny little holes in the top. Makes like a little mini waterer, really fine stream of water so you're not washing your seeds all over the place.
That's good if you just have a little bit, like the cluster project thing. That is a really good tip. I like to use a mister. So you could use a spray bottle.
Yep.
I like a little spray bottle that holds like 1.5 quarts of water, and you can push the button and it just mists.
Yeah.
Right? It locks in place. I like to use that when I get more seeds going. When they get bigger, I've got a lot of trays.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
Yeah.
So
So let's see here. What else? Oh, okay. So they're ready. You're ready to put them in the garden. Make sure you harden off your seedlings.
yes, that's super important then in the spring. In the fall, if you're starting them outside, it's not as important. But if you did start them inside, it is important.
Yeah.
But even still, like compared to spring, not as important because in the fall, you're losing daylight, right? Like for us right now, it doesn't seem to make a difference.
Right. Right.
The sun is so powerful.
It's relentless.
Overbearing right now.
I heard somebody say the other day, the sun is mad.
It is. I feel like it's angry at us. Yeah. But yeah, definitely you want to harden off. And that means moving them out a little bit at a time, letting them spend a little time out in the sun, not full sun maybe, just some partial sun, bringing them back in.
Yeah.
And this is something that you really do have to be dedicated to, because it's a lot to move all those trays in and out and in and out.
Yeah,
in and out.
It is.
And then so they're going to spend a little more time every day outside in the sun until they're ready to go to their new home in the garden.
Yeah.
So when I do that, I even will put the pots out in the garden where I want to plant
Where
them.
you want them to go.
Before I plant them.
Yeah.
They spend a day or two where they're supposed to live before it's time to plant.
Yeah.
And make sure they're happy with that spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because once they're in, they're in.
That's right.
So let's talk about how do you know when to start your seeds?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to know well, depending on what you're planting. So like right now we're planting for fall, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago. You need to know how many days of no frost you have left and how many days of no freezes you have left, and kind of work backwards. And
Right.
yeah, I'm trying out a program this year. Yeah. I know. Like what? That doesn't sound easy, and it's technology.
Is it the one that Jill Reagan?
It is. It's the seed time. So they
Yeah.
have a free
a free version.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm trying it out.
It.
It's really cool. And
Okay.
it really is cool. I think I'm going to end up paying for the full version.
Okay.
So like you put in your zip code, and it
Okay.
tells you how many frost-free days you have left. And then you can put in like, what are the plants you want to plant? And it'll tell you, oh, there's like a super simple selection. Like you want a succession sow. Okay. Well, how many times do you want to do that? And it tells you exactly what days you need to plant exactly what plants.
I like it.
I know, like
Right.
it's spelled out for you.
Right.
It's super
Just
easy.
tell me what to do.
Yeah. So if that's not something you're interested in, the way you need to do is look at a calendar, how many frost-free days you have left, and work backwards. So
Yeah.
you need to know, how long does it take a plant to go from seed to fruit,
Right.
right?
Which will be on the back of the seed packet.
Yes. And that's mostly not confusing. Clear as mud, right? Yeah. So you need to know, and I say it like that because like tomatoes, it tells you how many days to get fruit based on the transplant time.
Right.
But like radishes, that's not the case. That tells you how many days to get fruit from the time you put the seed in the ground. So you kind of need to do a little research for each kind of plant you're wanting to grow to figure out how much time you have left. And then too, like what likes the frost,
Right.
So like for collards, we like collard greens that grow right up to frost, and then they get a kiss of frost, and it's a better flavor. So I
Yeah.
want them coming to maturity as I'm expecting first frost.
Yeah.
And then we'll grow them all winter long, and they'll be great. So it's really a matter of sitting down with a calendar and doing the math of frost-free days, cold days, how much time is left, how much time does it take to grow, and all of that.
Yeah.
So did you have anything more insightful than that?
I don't.
To add? I mean, that's really how basic it is to me.
It is. It is very basic. And after you garden for a couple of seasons, you don't really have to think about that stuff much.
You just kind of know, like,
You
it's
just
time to
kinda
start
know.
seeds in July.
Right. Like we know that we are supposed to start tomato seeds in July for fall and winter gardening
Yeah.
here in North Florida. But have I?
We haven't.
No.
Oh, we haven't.
No.
No, I did take cuttings though. So I have that much done.
I know. I looked at my cherry tomato plants that I still have in the ground in the garden this morning. And I mean, we're not picking cherry tomatoes anymore because the bugs have set in. But I thought, I should probably grab some suckers off of that.
Yep.
And I probably would, but I don't want to grow that same cherry tomato in the fall and winter. So I need to start seeds.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do that, but I'm going to have to wait like a week and a half. And that's just how it's going to have to be. So
Right. Yeah. I mean, life happens.
life happens.
Yeah.
So, I'll start them whenever I can start them and go from there. So what other seeds are you going to start?
So I'm getting set up for warm weather things now. So I am going to start some cucumbers and squash under lights because it's just too hot and muggy for them outside right now. So I will start those probably near the end of August.
Okay.
And then when they're big enough to move out in probably September.
Yeah.
Like they'll probably spend 3 or 4 weeks inside before I move them out. And then I'll have them to grow in the garden October, November. So, I mean, you just kind of have to know like, oh, okay, that leaves me 6 weeks. Yeah, that's perfect.
Right.
So for warm weather things, tomatoes, I'm not starting any new peppers because I have a ton of peppers happening.
I know.
It's a good problem to have. I am starting more okra because I had the okra craziness. That you should be getting okras right now. You should be inundated with okras right now.
Yeah.
I'm not. So I am starting more okra plants and, or I just started those actually. And those I just put seeds in the ground. They can handle everything that outside has to throw at them right now. Squash, melons, I'll do another round of peanuts here,
Okay.
getting ready to plant.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I pulled all my peanuts today and I wondered like,
You can do them again.
well, right. But once those rhizomes are in the soil, I mean, am I going to have peanuts come up like soon?
You might, yeah.
Like I wondered, like,
Yeah.
I mean, because we have so much more warm weather left, like, are they going to immediately regrow or are they going to wait until next spring, summer?
So I don't have a lot of experience with peanuts. Last year was the first year I grew them.
Okay.
So I planted them in the spring last year. I harvested half of them in July.
Okay.
And then I left the other half not really knowing what I was doing. It was an experiment.
Right.
And the ones that I left really didn't do anything more. So I really should have pulled them. Well, at the same time, a good friend of mine planted hers in July.
Okay.
And so she harvested in November.
Okay.
So I was like, oh, I should have just done that. I should have just harvested all of them and replanted.
Right.
So that's my plan.
Okay.
And you could even, I could have succession sown them, like, start a new batch once a month or something like that all summer long.
Yeah.
So they are heat loving. So if you want to get them in, like in your local here, we're 9A,
Right.
now's the time.
Now is the time.
Yeah.
I still have some seeds left too. Maybe I should just reseed the row that I just pulled,
You could do that. Yeah.
They're so easy to grow.
They are so easy. They need nothing as long as you can keep the rabbits off of them.
Yeah.
And deer. So then I had some that came up volunteered after that July. Like after that, I had a couple of plants that popped up that I had missed.
Okay.
And then in the spring, like once the cold came and went, in the spring I had a bunch come up that volunteered.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I wondered
and
how
I
that was
don't
going to
think
go
it was
down.
the actual peanut. I don't think it was the seed that I left behind. I think it was root.
Yeah, no, they do. They leave rhizomes in the soil
Yeah.
from what I understand. And that is how it regrows. Like
Yeah.
once that rhizome is in your soil.
Yeah. Well, I'm here for the volunteer. Like I'm all about it.
Yeah.
Grow, baby.
Right?
Grow, baby, grow. So yeah, I'll do some peanuts. And I will start seeds indoors soon for my cold things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Broccoli,
Yeah,
cabbage, collie.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All those good things.
Yeah. Those won't go out until probably October.
Yeah.
And then at that time, I will also plant carrots,
Mm-hmm.
any of the winter root things that you want to grow, rutabagas, parsnips. Have you ever grown those?
No.
I grew them.
I don't think I've ever even ate a parsnip.
Well, I had to grow it because I don't know. I'm an idiot sometimes. Just like, let's grow that. We can grow it. Let's grow it. Yeah, we didn't. I mean, it's kind of like a turnip.
Okay.
So turnips is another one. Your greens do really well in the winter. Lettuces do really well in the winter.
Yep.
What are you going to be growing?
All that.
All of that.
All
Yeah.
that, but probably not parsnips.
No, I don't. I won't do them again.
Rutabagas for sure.
They're finicky like carrots.
Are they?
Yeah, but not as good as having a carrot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
green beans. Green beans are going in the ground again.
Yes, I'm doing more green beans. I saved some yard-long bean seeds, and in the spring, I found like maybe 5 Trail of Tear seeds, the black beans,
Yeah.
Cherokee Trail of Tear beans. I found like 5 random ones like in a Ziploc baggie. And so I grew just those 5 for the purpose of seed. And
Right.
so I just harvested those seeds. And so
Nice.
I'll do those yard longs, green beans.
Cool.
I'll probably do all that soon.
Very cool.
But I got to clean out my dang cherry tomatoes first.
Yeah, I've got a lot
Because-
of cleaning out to do too.
I do too. It's going to be so much work, but it's going to be so nice to have it done and it'll be worth it.
Yep. And the winter garden is a lot easier to keep and manage.
It's
so much easier.
It's so much easier.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. All right. Well, anything else?
All right, y'all, we are going to do a seed giveaway since we're talking about seed starting this week. And Donna and I both have a pretty good collection of seeds that we've harvested from our own gardens. And we wanted to do a giveaway for y'all. So we're going to put together a nice little collection of all the seeds that we've saved.
All kinds of seeds. So a lot of the things that you just heard us talk about.
Yeah, a lot of those things. And lots of flowers too.
Yeah, lots of flowers too.
Yeah. So if you're not on our Instagram page, go ahead and get on our Instagram page or our Facebook page. And we're going to be posting a reel about a seed giveaway.
Yep.
And you're going to need to go on those pages, like them, follow them, comment, share, do all that good stuff to enter the seed giveaway. And at the end of the week, we're going to be picking a winner and shipping out some seeds.
Yep. So you can grow your own garden too.
That's right.
All right.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.